Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and I am joined once again by Maryland.
Howdy, gamers.
And it looks like we're returning to the ways of yesteryear. And by yesteryear, I don't mean a very long time ago, but more like 5 or 6 turns ago, before we had the highly entertaining Pelagia Vanheim War. So this will probably be another episode where we go through a few turns in one episode. And I'll start this off with a message from Vanheim. After some negotiations, I came to the following peace agreement with Pelagia.
Interesting. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, you and I were saying at the end of last episode that he's going to be begging for peace at this point. You know, I
thought he should.
He got context, I guess we didn't really do a summary. Last episode, he had already been basically blocked in the north, but he doubled down in the north on the throne. He reinforced that, and I believe that got shattered as well, with flames from the sky and other things.
It sure looked like it.
The army in the south, it got completely wrecked by the god...
Well, the dying tree lord trick.
No, but the southern army.
Well, we think it got a beckoning on it too. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't in a forest.
It wasn't in a forest.
Yeah.
That's right.
I forget right now exactly how the god cheesed it. I know he nuked it from orbit a few times, and then so that's flames from the sky, and then
wait.
We'd have to go back. I have to
jump
look it up.
back and have a look at that. But I think
they got wrecked.
The summary is Vanheim's losses were unsustainable. If he keeps that up, he'll lose the game.
Yeah, I mean, they were catastrophic, I think the unsustainable is true. It is unsustainable, but it doesn't do justice to all of the bloodshed. I mean, it was a gore fest.
Yeah, it was brutal.
All right, 68 goes. So Pelagia gets the necromancers. 68 goes to Pelagia. Presumably that is something that was Vanheim's to start with. Vanheim sends Pelagia back Krup's Bracer. That's a little cheap Earth artifact. And finally, we enter a long nap till turn 95, where it becomes a nap 2. If any side has 6 thrones, the nap ends. This might have been a mistake, though, as after talking with Pan, it seems like the other players would have been willing to enter my side of the war. In fact, I think they plan to attack him soon, as they fear he's going to use Doom Horrors to take out thrones. Yep.
Oh, that's what we predicted as well.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it soon. I think he's going to... Because you don't want to start doing Doom Horrors to take out thrones until you have enough of your own. And he doesn't have enough of his own yet.
Yeah, what do you think the magic... I think you mentioned you think he should have 6 and then start taking out thrones.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good because you need 8 for the win, right?
I mean, he could maybe do it as 5 because you can... The thing is, you just need to have the most thrones. So if the thrones you take are from the player with the most thrones otherwise, then, you can kind of make a go of it.
Right.
Okay. I've given both Ulm and Ashdod a guarantee that I will not end my naps with them for 10 turns unless they appear to be throne rushing in order to facilitate that war. I'm happy to sit back and build up strength while everyone else is fighting.
Okay.
I'm going to put up Astral Corruption on turn 93, and this is turn 82. So that is a very long-range plan.
That is. Oop.
Oh, wait, whoops.
Yeah.
Using 800 slaves. So the spell should be able to overcome any other global enchantments, with the exception possibly of Nexus. Astral Corruption should make it a lot harder for Pelagia to use Flames from the Sky, so I really should have put it up before attacking him. Wishes also make it problematic for him, even as the Kraken could die to a Doom Horror, in particular the Astral 10 Doom Horror.
Right. So, but we've talked about that Arco probably has a pretty solid defense against getting his Wishcasters killed, but, it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, he makes really good points, though, that, like the Flames from the Sky bullshit's really hard to do with Astral Corruption up.
Absolutely.
In my Ubar game, I do it, though, but like, as Ubar, I had really good chassis for it. So you'd have to use, like, Elemental Royalty if you're not playing Ubar. Even then... They will eventually die. Eventually you'll get a bad roll and they're going to die and returning won't work or whatever it is you were planning on having happen won't happen and they're going to die to the horror. So it definitely makes it more expensive.
Right. Yeah.
But
okay. So
you want to read the message from Pelagia?
Last turn, feeble-minded one of Vanheim's 2 mind hunters also attempted to charm a Vanjarl after pulling him away from his raiding party via Windride, but unfortunately I misremembered the timing of Windride victim's arrival. Last I checked, a long time ago, it was the normal phase movement, yet he attacked the PD in the magic phase when my patroller Worm Mage wasn't there yet. As a result, the non-patrolling Triton King also clashed the Vanjarl and promptly frozen-hearted him. Oh well.
Huh.
Okay.
That's a pretty clever little move.
Yeah, so I haven't used Windride in a long time, and I would have thought, similar to him, that I would have thought it showed up in normal phase. But I don't know if that's actually how it used to be. Obviously, it's not now. Windride, right. The guy lands in magic phase.
Yeah.
The Fairy Queen plus Imprint Souls went well. The province we captured has an enchantment 20 site, which is home to at least 2 dead Vanheim liches. Now they will die forever. Good thing. Depending on my astral income and whether I find a thaumaturgy site, Imprint Souls may be a big part of my late game strategy. Interesting. There are ways to up the sacreds produced to almost 60 per cast, flagellants on land or Triton wielders underwater. One of the purposes of my exact bless was the magic weapons and +4 strengths. These units need to be relevant in late game battles, with full defensive buffs, of course. So it sounds like he's talking about using Imprint Souls to generate troops, not as a remote attack.
Yeah. There are ways to produce up to almost 60 per cast.
Well, it scales a lot with your astral.
So it's a thaumaturgy spell. Here it is. Imprint Souls. 20. Okay. So let's look. Souls imprinted equals 120 times extra level. Success and print chance equals penetration.
12%.
Okay.
Plus penetration. So that's, he could have penetration of 4 is about the maximum. So that's another 24%. The death chance.
Well, you could actually have 5. So yeah. If it's...
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've not seen someone use this before, and I'm not super fond of Imprint Souls because it's very expensive at 25 pearls, and its success rate as a remote is not wonderful because they show up with, if I remember right, the insane commander who doesn't have any magic. So it's just a bunch of...
Well,
but that's an interesting technique.
You know, as always, I look forward to getting educated, and anytime you're in a game with Arco, be it as a caster or a player, you're going to get educated a bit. It's a lot more fun to get educated as a caster rather than on the receiving end of a pointy stick.
Was that the last paragraph? No, we got one more there. Vanheim asked for peace, and we've agreed on terms mildly in my favor. If it were a 1v1, I'd just continue and win, but I doubt the rest will allow me to grow too much at Vanheim's expense. So I prefer to focus on going back and growing my less visible advantages. The game is heading for a clash between the full power of Astral versus the full power of Blood. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. You want to do this one too?
Yep. Forgot to mention, last turn Vanheim lost 110 units, more to ritual phase bombardment. Almost all his sacred troops are dead, and the surviving are often afflicted. Between the Tempest Site and Nexus, all these flames from the sky cost me little.
Yep.
Tempest Site. Okay, so he's got a...
Wait, what's this Tempest Site?
It must be an evocation site. Tempest.
Ooh.
Okay, that's significant.
Ooh.
So that's why the King of Flames is there.
Ooh, how about that? How about them apples? Ooh.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid discount.
Oh my god, that's oppressive. I wonder if anybody else knows about that. That's so oppressive. Have a Nexus and an evocation discount site? Oh my god.
That's originally a Jotun site. So,
yeah.
And I think Jotun had Windmasters, so he probably knew about it.
But his Windmasters were down here somewhere. I think in like this fort.
Oh, was he?
Or illusionists.
Oh, illusionists.
That's what he had done early.
Maybe nobody knows.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's significant.
That's very significant. Yeah, because basically how it works out is... Yeah, he's getting... So Flames from the Sky is 30. I mean, yeah.
30 or 35? I thought it was 35.
It's 30.
30. So he's getting it for 24 base.
Right. And then he's getting basically a rebate of a quarter from Nexus.
Right.
Which is effectively cutting the price down to... So I guess it's -6 more. So that's taking it down to like 18.
18, almost half price.
Yeah, Whoosh. That is ridiculous.
Wow.
That is ridiculous. Oh,
it is.
Very sorry for everybody that has to be in the game with this. So, Pelagia attacks Ashdod. That's a bit strange.
Oh. Oh, no. This was the... He needs this one, remember? This is the home province of the Anunnaki.
No, this is a deal.
Isn't it?
This is a deal. These guys have cut an agreement. He's got Sickle whose crop is pain that harvests death gems, right?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
And so these guys have a farming agreement.
Right. Okay. Okay, I understand. Yeah. That's funny.
So I guess rigor mortis makes it so that they can't run away.
Oh, okay. So they're trading...
And he's got a bunch of reinvigoration.
What's the cost to Call of the Wild? It's 15?
He's almost certainly got the artifact, though.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Good point. So how many gems does he get here? 20?
Oh my
almost
God.
30.
Oh my
almost
God.
30. Oh, that's just gross. Generating almost 30 death gems a turn. Oh, wow. When the other players see this, eventually they're going to be like, I wonder if any of them has scouts there and can see this. They'd be like, oh, this is just revolting.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad you noticed this.
The rigor mortis trick is pretty interesting. I'd never thought of that.
Kind of a big deal. I'm going to put a timestamp for this because this is kind of funny.
Okay. Oh my God. So they're probably splitting these gems 50-50 is my guess, or something close to that. Which, for Ashdod, they need it. I mean, God, anything that will help them get back in the, get up to the leaderboards.
Yeah.
For Pelagia, I'm like, oh my God.
Wow. Okay, that's holy cow. Wow. I wonder if he pays back half of them or something.
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a deal there somewhere.
So let's look at these final borders. So he got this, I guess this is 68. So this is the one province he's coming up ahead. And it's kind of interesting because, Pelagia is saying, if it were 1v1, I would keep going. But I think everybody else is not very happy about it. Which, by the way, if you look at the graphs and you see like Pelagia beating up Vanheim, you wouldn't normally think that would be a big problem. You'd be like, oh, okay. The position 5 players beating up position 2. That's fine.
Yeah, they're kind of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, but people know. It's not just us. People know.
But look at the army size graph.
Well, that's Pangaea.
Yikes.
Yeah. Dude, Pangaea is a force now. They're an absolute force.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're probably going to have a couple chill turns unless Pangaea decides to go on Pelagia or Ulm decides to go on Pelagia, and we'll just have to see.
We'll see if this coalition forms. It would be a 3-player coalition because all Vanheim can do... Are you done with that turn? Or
yeah. We'll just go to the next one. We'll keep talking. But you finish your thought. You were saying it'll be interesting to see if the coalition forms.
Which turn did you just open?
83.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think if there's a coalition, it'll be 3 nations, right? Ulm, Ashdod, and Pan. If they form a coalition against Pelagia, because all Vanheim can do is anonymous stuff, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see what's happening, because those 3 nations you listed are the ones that it looks like they've sent me a message. Kirby, it's been a while, but as you can see, I haven't had much to talk about. Here's some of my thinking. While Van and Pelagia were fighting, it's impossible to move for 2 reasons. One, backstabbing either of those 2 combatants would have led to an even bigger win for the other, and precipitated the end of the game anyway, essentially being a kingmaker. 2, with with Pangaea as a free agent, he would have likely jumped me, and then I'd be dead. And everyone was in this position because Pan would have to fight both me and Ashdod with our defensive alliance, unless Ashdod bails, in which case, see aforementioned deadness. And Ashdod and I couldn't agree to work together offensively, so we made for bad YouTube. aka we're boring. With the end of the... I think they needed a little bit of time to...
I don't find that boring from my point of view. I think both of them deserved a fair chance. Not maybe fair isn't the right word, but they needed a little bit of time to put their stuff back together.
Yep. With the end of the first Van-Pelagian War, we're sort of a bit in the same spot. However, Pan had been trying to start a coalition of his own against Pelagia. Still, sort of the same issues with getting everyone to agree to move on Pelagia, since us smaller nations feel like we'd just be punching bags while Pan goes for the win. But talking with Van... I wish he would say Vanheim. When talking with Vanheim, we actually managed to get an assurance that he would sit this one out and lick his wounds, as far as I can throw it, of course.
Yeah, I agree with you. Pan and Van makes it a little tricky when reading.
Yeah. So stay tuned for a possible second attempted invasion of Pelagia if Pan can successfully wrangle all of us geese to do his bidding. Personally, I'm starting to feel more and more inclined to think that my own plan might have been better, which is the full dismantling and partitioning of Vanheim by everyone instead. The way I see it, invading Pelagia is an enticing trap. Given his gym income, gift, and his skill as a player, we would probably do no better than Vanheim. Meanwhile, everyone knows how much Vanheim has lost. The theory is that we need to deal with Pelagia now before it's too late. But I don't think it's wise to leave Van to recover either. Everyone could get a lot of easy gains out of Van, whereas Pelagia himself would not, because he has an ally. Of course, the downside to this is the potential for Pelagia to attack anyone he wants while we fight Vanheim. So really, we'd be back to where we started. Anyway, you see the problem with the whole mess. I'm sure. What to do.
Yeah, well, I was a little caught off guard when Vanheim sort of went on his own against Pelagia. But, maybe if we went back to my comments when we were watching this happen, I might have not said that. Maybe. I don't remember. Do you remember? Did we sort of go...
I mean, I think we were saying it could go either way. I mean, Vanheim was at the crest of his power. I mean, he had immense power, these huge armies that it didn't seem there was going to be a way to deal with them. And Pelagia essentially hasn't really fought much all game. They had 1 or 2 cool battles against Jotunheim, which were very clean and clinical, and then a little bit of raiding. But otherwise, we haven't, you might not even know it was Arco playing, just because.
And then he pulls these, 5-part Doomstack killers, with his 5
and then the gauntlets come off.
Yeah.
Right.
Using all the phases in the game, and like the crazy thing with Army of Rats the turn before.
Yeah.
I mean, that had never occurred to me. Using a Tree Lord to do Army of Rats the turn before you're planning to wipe out an army.
He unleashes like a Jedi psychic storm upon the game. So
yeah. So okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's look at what everybody has to say. We'll have a few comments after each of them, because these turns are going to be mostly Diplo thinking. And then let's give our thoughts on what we think they said is right and what we think they said is wrong from our perspectives, and then kind of what we would do.
Good. Yeah, sounds good.
I'll do this one. I'm a little over 350 slaves per turn. That is a big increase. It was not long ago, only 10 turns ago, he was at 200. So he's almost double, which had been my benchmark for when I had sufficient Vampire Lord saturation. But I don't even have large summoners yet to convert all that into Blood 9 bulk demon spells. I'm making Demon Lords mostly with this in mind. Since my Pretender or an Empowered Lore Master can do bulk Storm Demons, I've similarly only had a few casters for Infernal Crusades. Storm Demons are for fighting underwater, Demon Knights are for fighting on land. Interesting.
There's an interesting discussion, I think, on your Discord just the last day or two, on whether or not Demon Lords are worthwhile. And my comment was, if you need the diversity or the Blood 9 spells, yes. As super combatants, I'm not fond of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I think they're an excellent choice if you need to be doing the big Blood 9 bulk demon spells. They're one of the most cost-effective ways to get that going. Your other options are, empowerments and boosters, and it's just a big effort.
Well, I'll tell you what has me excited about this message, Maryland, is Demon Knights. And the reason is, some of you may know, they used to be extremely overpowered in Dominions 3 and 4.
That's correct.
And the reason was because Fear Aura stacked infinitely. And there were a few units that you could mass that had Fear, like Hydras were one of them, Demon Knights were another one. And if you put enough of them together, they would, Ghosts, they would literally instantly, within one round, they would turn the entire frontline morale negative. So it was impossible for them to ever pass a morale check once the fear hit them. And they would insta-route everything no matter what, unless it was perfect morale.
Yeah, it was worse than Wailing Winds.
Yeah, it was really stupid. Now, that has been changed in Dominions 5. And now how it works is having more fear units is great because you can have the little fear aura proccing more and the morale of individual units will go down faster. However, it cannot go down more than 5 points.
Yeah, it's not as extreme.
And what this means is that Demon Knights are no longer cheese units like that. Now they're just really good troops. They have fear aura. They have good weapons. They don't have magic weapons, I don't think, unlike a lot of the other demons.
Well, yeah, and they're pricey.
And they're pricey.
And kind of difficult to summon.
And I haven't seen them in multiplayer games except for a few times from Ritual of the Five Gates. I think all of Dominions 5. So if I've made them myself a few times with, Infernal Crusade's not a bad spell, but
the Crusade, no, but the individual summon is 15 gems, needs Blood 2, Earth 2.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. And whereas you can get Storm Demons for 10 and Fiends for 7, I believe.
And I prefer the Fiends to the Demons because of the magic weapons, but the Demons have really good armor. There's a lot of redeeming things. I'm just looking forward to seeing it, Marilyn. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's been since Dominions 3 since I've seen a lot of Demon Knights, and I'm stoked.
I've seen a few in a couple of games where people have been using, what's it called? The gate.
Ritual of, 5 Gates, or what is it? Ritual of 5 Gates?
Yeah, 5 Gates.
Yeah.
5 Gates. But it's very hard to build enough of them to do anything with 5 Gates.
Oh, you know what? I misspoke earlier. I said 350 slaves a turn now. I was thinking this message was from Vanheim. This is from Pangaea. Vanheim was the one that said 200 slaves a turn about 10 turns ago. I have no idea what Pangaea was at then. Okay.
I don't think he told us.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything more to say about
the 350 slaves is a lot, especially when you have mount chaining. You get so much mileage out of 350 slaves with mount chaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else to say about Pan? I
don't think so. You wanna read Vanheim?
We're on to Van. Just let me.
Or I'll do it. It's short. There was an error in my small message. A small error in my message last turn. I am, of course, not going to wait until turn 93 to cast Astral Corruption, but we'll cast it next turn. 83.
Oh, 83. So that would be now.
Okay. I was thinking he actually meant 93 because that was like right after, the long nap with Pelagia ended. I had already rationalized that in my mind. But
yeah.
Okay, this makes sense too. Yeah, let's put it up right away.
Does it go up? I don't see it.
So, he said this turn. So, he's going to cast it this turn.
He's casting it this turn.
Next turn, 93. So this is turn.
Well, this is 83.
Yeah, so he's going to be casting it now. Is that what it means? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, from Ashdod. You want to do this one for us?
Doing a mutually beneficial life after death play with Pan. We saw that. No. Oh, no. Life After Death play with Pan.
He meant... no, he meant the thing. Oh, no, maybe... Oh, no, he might be doing that. Yeah.
This is different.
Yep.
This is different.
He's going to get some mindless dudes.
Okay. Life After Death play with Pan in my Southwest in preparation for Astral Corruption. Because the thing we watched was Pelagia and Ashdod with the harvesting death gems. This is right. Pan.
So Ashdod's just dealing with everybody.
He sure is.
Yeah.
Good move. He's going first, sending a Wraith Lord with 5. Why am I failing on HOS?
Horde of Skeletons casts.
Horde of Skeleton casts, per his request. Should be Foul Vapors and a Bog Beast to poison. Sounds like he just wants a few mages converted to death, undead mindless. I'd like to keep my Astral Mages living for Magic Duel into Life After Death on the battlefield. We'll leverage Golems for Astral Forging. May convert a bunch of Fire Earth Sages in that farm in my Southwest fort in a turn or two.
Yep.
Late game economic plays. Okay. I'm sure it's like watching paint dry. Sorry, folks. Well, we've had lots to talk about.
Yeah.
We can punch these through.
So this is more of the gem harvesting. I'd be interested to know what the rate with the... I think it's a 50-50, but I'd be interested to know what the splits were.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the Wraith Lord. So here it is. So he puts up Life After Death and Foul Vapors and no Poison Resist. And the Wraith Lord just kind of sits there.
Oh, with an Axe of Hate, too, to make her poison resistance low. That's kind of clever.
Oh, okay. There's one. Oh, one ran away. Oh, 2 ran away. But there's 3. Oh, that one died.
Like, died?
Looked like it. One of the soulless died.
I kind of want to watch that again.
Oh, maybe it just moved. But I saw, okay, the one just by the pan, the Golden Order. That one.
No, this guy ran.
He ran.
Oh, and he's retreated. He got, so Life After, I didn't actually know. He got converted in the retreat. That's kind of interesting.
He did, okay.
This guy probably will too. Let's see.
Oh, okay. The guy that looked like he might disappear is the closest soulless to us.
Okay. This guy.
Watch that guy closely. Yeah. Poof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hit points minus 185.
Well, that's a soul slay. That's weird.
I think that's a route.
Yeah? Okay.
I think what happened... I kind of want to check again. Just very curious, this interaction.
It's kind of weird.
I think it's a route, because if you're mindless and you route, you take an infinite amount of damage. Or, like the 999, whatever. Not infinite, but... Whoops.
Well, maybe you can hit the V. Oh, he's bleeding.
Yeah. Could be that too.
Looked to me like he's bleeding.
Routing,
okay.
Nobody else is routing, just him.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is... he must have... I don't know when the route triggered, but it must have triggered between... Like maybe on the last turn before he switched or something?
Yeah, just before he switched. I thought I saw a tick of red as if he's bleeding.
Yeah.
So, but he got 6 soulless converted out of it.
Yeah, it worked. I don't know if he was trying to convert the pants or not. He might have.
Well, that's entertaining.
Yeah.
I made a bit of a note on that in the notes, just that it's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, and I
think that's it.
I think that's it. We're at 30 minutes. Do you think we should cut it off here? Or you think we should do one more turn in this?
I think we should. I need a bio break, so at least pause.
Okay. I think we'll just end it here. We'll do a 30-minute episode again. We probably have a couple more of these kind of slow ones, I think, until the next phase starts. I mean, I have no idea, but just looking at it, my intuition is that we're going to have a few slow turns here.
I just had one thing I just wanted to glance at. It looks like Ulm, none of these forts have upgraded yet. He built all those new forts, but hopefully he can afford the upgrades, because
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to leave a whole bunch of Palisades laying around.
Yeah, I wouldn't
They're just
either.
too easy to crack.
They are.
Okay. That's kind of the last comment I had.
Okay, actually, you know what? One thing we didn't talk about before we close it out is what, Alm had this long message to us at the beginning. We didn't really give a lot of comments on it. Basically, they were saying, the TLDR of all of this is, as small players, they're worried about being the instruments of big players, so that they go on a big player and then, they help somebody else win.
Yeah, and that's a huge challenge. How do you time any offensive action you take if you join a coalition to try to, weaken one of the big players? How do you do that without just getting killed?
Yeah, I think the thing to remember in this is that the big players all want to win. They are playing to win. So if you, let's say I'm playing Pangaea. If you come in here and you're beating up on me, right, and you're doing it in conjunction with Vanheim, and Vanheim's beating up on me, and then you realize Vanheim's getting too big too fast, and you want to switch sides as Ulm, and you say, hey, I'll leave you alone and turn on Vanheim in a few turns once I get my armies over there if you give me these 6 provinces. And, Pangaea wants to do that because they're right now in a losing engagement. Their land is going down, their resources are going down. So they'll do that. I think it's just kind of this idea of playing pinball, bouncing back and forth, taking a little bit from the big players until you're a big player.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
And they don't have far to go. They're close. In terms of, not in terms of total economy when you factor in blood slaves and stuff, but provinces, they're pretty close.
Yeah, I think the issue is they just took such a beating in their wars. They needed to recover from that. So the army size graph might be a bit of an indication.
Yeah, I think a master deal that could have been made, and it's kind of what he was talking about with going on Vanheim, is if they could have found a way to eat Vanheim without Pangaea winning. And Sai is a crafty player, and I don't think I would trust Sai to not go for the win if he saw it in his sight. So how do you arrange it so that y'all are going to go on Vanheim and y'all are going to get a lot of spoils more than Pangaea would?
Well, and would Pelagia really sit back for it? I mean, now he's got the NAP, so most likely he does. I
think he would, and you can't be too paralyzed by fear of Pelagia. I think as Ashdod and Ulm, if there was an opportunity where Pangaea gets 5 provinces, Pelagia gets 5, and both of y'all each get 10, if somehow that was going to be a thing, that would potentially be a good deal. You have to
bring the game down to a 4-player game.
Yeah. So, I mean, somebody's going to have to lose a lot for them to gain a lot at this point. So,
okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think they have to. They can probably take a few more times chilling out, but after that, they got to kind of get bigger, and they don't have to get bigger by huge commitment wars, but they can get bigger by kind of bouncing back and forth between the big players. But they have to be able to take fights, because if Ulm's okay, we're gonna mess with Vanheim or mess with whoever it is, and he just gets a stack wipe and doesn't take anything, isn't raiding efficiently, then he's not going to be able to get anything out of it, right? So
that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have much more to say about that. I agree that that's one of the possible plays. It's kind of tricky, so we'll see if one of them does it.
All right.
And we'll see if this coalition against Pelagia forms.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if that does. So, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
All right, see y'all next time.